Hey everybody, a very tired NW Order for Life here to bring you Lord Marksman and Vanadis episode 5 review. Really quick, it's just, there's a lot of pairing, when I say pairing, a lot of, like this hints of harem stuff. You got Ellen, who blushes a lot of times. We see her and her knight captain girl in the bath, and she makes Tigre, find Lim in the bath. I think her name is Lim, and the other maiden, the other battle maiden with the pointing, piercing spear, whatever. So she don't really care that Tigre found her in the bath. She just like figures that he's a gnat or a worm compared to her, or whatever she said. I don't know, like a lowly commoner, and she don't care. But she's still pissed off the fact that he want to look at her. And he says, "I don't want to look at you. It was just a mistake." And he's all calm about it. So she just knocks him out and doesn't decide to kill him. Um, but the other girl, Ellen's captain, she had suffered from poison in the previous episode. Tigger, when the episode starts, she's just healed. She's in the bath with Ellen, and there's nothing to worry about with the poison. So, and then we have scenes with Tigger, Ellen, and Night Captain Girl going to. And again, I know I've mentioned her name in the last video, but I forgot it. So, and I'm tired. So sorry. But she goes to. The three of them shop in the shopping district, and basically, like I don't know if they're shopping or if they're just walking, but basically, they eat something at a vendor or whatever, and the Ellen and Lim are just making like these these threats to each other, and that's pretty much it. And she walks away. Lim does, and there's just like talk of war. I'm sorry, I'm really screwed up right now, but there's talk of war. Like oh, Lim is going to surprise us by moving her forces there, and you know, meeting us on the battlefield, and positioning for strategic value, whatever she does. So that happens, and they try to muster a force to go against her, and they do, but Lim has like this strategic wall set up where she froze like certain points that the only way they could get to her is from like one path. So Ellen wants to go and like just charge right to the front with like her sword of wind and stuff, and Tigger's like, no, it's too reckless, it's too dangerous. Let me try something else. And he pretty much goes into disguise. He's got like this bear rug over him, and he goes to find an alternate mountain path, which he knows because of it's near Alsace, so he knows the terrain. And he sees Lim there, and Lim doesn't realize it's him. She thinks it's somebody else because she can't see his face. And he basically impresses her with his shooting ability, his archery. They go into a cave and they eat. They have like tea in a cave, and Lim talks about how she is upset that she has to, fight alongside bad guys, basically, because she has inherited this 80-year tradition of being allies with you know, the bad guys. She doesn't mention Denadier or anything like that because she thinks she's talking to a stranger. So she just says like, my family has connections, with this. Actually, I don't know if she might have said that in her fortress. In her fortress, she might have said to her subordinates that she has the 80-year tradition with the Denadier family. So like just with Tigger in the bear suit, in the bear skin, she just tells him that she knew that she'd have to do things that she didn't like to do, bad things, or work with bad people or something like that. But it still bothers her or something to that effect. And she wants him to join her army because he's so good with a bow, and he's like, no, I can't, because he makes up this story about him being from a village and a tribe, and that it's his custom not to remove the bear skin, and also that he doesn't want to leave his village, so he can't go with her. So she parts ways with him, and he was surprised to see how cheerful and happy and completely not like a battle maiden that she was around him in that cave. And he finds the path. If he follows her footprints, he finds the path going to her fortress, whatever it is. And he takes Ellen and a bunch of like 100 soldiers from her army, and they try to follow that path to the castle. And surprisingly, there is now like set up. There is like borders, I guess you could say, kind of like maybe spike traps that the soldiers can step on, and like barricades just lining the yard, and then there's this main castle gate. So they decide they can't turn away, and Ellen uses her sword power to use wind and destroy all the barricades and try to destroy the door. It doesn't work though, and then all of Lim's archery people on top of the fortress start shooting at Ellen. So Tigre saves her by running in and grabbing her before she can strike a second time. And then he asks her to, he asks her weapon to give him power, so that they can break through the fortress. And he shoots his magical arrow, charges it with magic, shoots it, and the whole door is destroyed. And that's the end of the episode. We're basically going to see next week Battle Maiden versus Battle Maiden, and Tigre and Ellen and all these 100 soldiers are rushing into the fortress, which is now wide open. But yeah, and before, I don't know if I mentioned this too, but Denadier is like held up in one position on like a side of on the battlefield, like they're holed up in one spot, and then the Battle Maiden is holed up in another spot. So the strategy, I believe, is to crush Lim's forces, and once they do that, then they can have a strategic. Then they can just move forward to Thernadier's like base of operations or whatever. I'm not 100% sure, but I know they showed like two armies there, and like Ellen's army there, and Ellen has to get through Lim's first or something like that. I don't know, it's kind of confusing because they don't really show it in too much detail. They just kind of blurt it out and show like these little statuette, these kind of figurine type of chess pieces that are like they just quickly talk about it, show it, and then so whatever. I'm tired. Episode gets a I give it a 7 out of 10. Not that good. Mostly stupid harem stuff going on. It's kind of like a little overblown with the hints of all three girls liking him, and or even though like Lim doesn't really like him yet, but you can tell that like she has a fondness for him, like she respects him, and like and the whole thing in the cave, that was obviously him, so she has this blushing happy girl side with him. So it's this harem thing, you can tell, harem. And aside from that, some action with the wind sword thing for Ellen. Lim didn't really do much with her weapon, and Tigre got a few shots with the bow in this episode, not too much impressive, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, 7 out of 10, not great, kind of good. A 7 out of 10 is a pretty worthy score, I think. So anyway, thanks for looking at this review for Lord Marksman and Vanadis, episode 5, I think I said. And if you'd like to see more content in the future, please subscribe. Be sure to rate the video and comment below about whatever you want to talk about in the episode and characters. Thanks. Have a great night.